Hello, hello, hello. This is Victor from Manifested Royalty Studios. With today, this Tuesday evening, and we're going to be creating the additional parts, rearranging to the beat around the Narcissist. If you guys didn't catch the last video with this, the video we actually had got the um, audio tracks from one of actual Cater the producer's um, downloadable parts to it to just be able to add on. This is not anything that we just went, downloaded just for free and we're doing our own mix on it. This is actually just something that he had posted on Instagram and a couple other social media platforms and wanted to take a stab with it, do something with it. And since it is a royalty free melody, I was actually going to be offering this as a free beat for any artist and just something to throw out there, just something to give back. I'm obviously not, I can't take credit for all of this because this is the only parts of it are added on from what this whole beat is. Kato is one of the ones that made this actually just something that was an option out there for producers and for other people as well too, but that's the main reason for it. So this is what we got so far. Right now I got it cut in two sections and to see what it's going to be sounding like to my ears. So this is what it sounds like. Alright, so that's what we got so far. I'm already, as you can already tell, I already muted one of these tracks because it just didn't sound right already to me. And that was something I added before just to see what it would be like. So what I had added in here was just some drums, some kicks, some snares, some hi-hats. This nice like little ratcheting sound, and added that into it, and then just added what I'm using is the Omnisphere. So I went on to Omnisphere, and then we added in this sound here just to give a little bit more of a different tone. Obviously, I'm not going to want to just copy the exact same thing that Kato has or every other producer might still use, as well as it's going to be tweaking. There's still going to be filters that are going to manipulate the sound as well too, to just give it a different kind of tone. And then just obviously making it, what we'd say pizzazz, giving it something a little different, giving it something that's going to make it sound that's not something that just Kato had created and all we did was just add drums and sent it out. Where obviously I would try to make it sound unique. What was a part here that I wanted to re-listen to? There. So it's part of the drums. And I can hear these that are slightly off. You may say that to you it feels fine. And I'm welcome to opinions. If you come on to my live, you're more than welcome to give your opinion. Don't ever just hesitate coming here that you just gotta listen to me talk or just listen to the music. That's not the case. I'm always open to ideas. I'm open minded. I'm really laid back and chill. So I'm always open to hear what other people's inputs are, because maybe I have a certain idea and somebody else gives me one, use theirs and it works out, or maybe I take their idea, add mine, make something new. So now, let's see what this ratcheting sounds like. Okay. Ratcheting sound doesn't sound too bad until it starts hitting a little bit more here. There we go. Just give it. Obviously, there's some little extra sounds there that I hear that I'm not liking too much. They're gonna get EQ. They're gonna get fixed up. I'm only turning them down. But this gives me a rough idea where we're gonna be at. And then obviously we're going to adjust the levels on these as well too. Something else that just came into my mind. I want to see what this is gonna sound like. Let's see. Okay. This was supposed to come up here. So real quick, this for any beginner, um, any beginner producer out there that's wanting to get into this, and I'm just gonna put it right out there. I am no master at this. I am no affiliation with any of these dolls. Nothing like that. But I have had the experience of having to work with a couple of these dolls, and I have got to pick up a certain workflow with them. It just to being able to work with these, there's certain ones I have certain tasks for. There's other producers that have one doll for everything. There's other ones that work with the whole complete different one. And I will say that for big and producers, what I was doing here is made a note, didn't sound where I was wanting it, so I had to change it. So I went in there and then I just brought it up to that note that I was wanting to play with. Some of you guys that are maybe very familiar with um, FL Studios, this gives you a little window where you can kind of get your different sounds, little patterns that you can create with your MIDI. It's a basic form of it. It's not obviously how FL Studios is. It has it its own way, but this works really, really well. So that's just a little brief up on what I'm doing here. Hear this choir here. That's not a bad choir that it has in there. I might take that out and just use the choir that I'm using instead. But we'll go around with them, we'll play and see what it sounds like. This gives me at least a pretty functioning basic sounds here. And let me take these two, move them a bit, and what I'm going to be doing now is getting this instrument here. So I have a battery 4. That's one of the programs that I use as an instrument here, and it is to me one of the ones that has so much amount of sounds, capability of doing so many things with them, changing up the tones, reversing it. I mean, you got your samples that you have in here as well. You could throw in and add another one into it, make your own um, pads here, have their own specific sounds, and just save it to your own template. And there is a numerous amount of kits. So yeah, battery 4 is one of the things that I love using, and I've taken some of the instruments here and I've tweaked them to get them sound a little bit different, because obviously somebody else has already been playing with this and probably has the exact same sound, but I want it to hit a little different. I want it to sound a little different, have its own specific tone. So what I'm about to do is, for my drums, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 different instruments: kick, snare, hi-hat. Might even have like a ratcheting sound. Yeah, I got 2 different kicks. So I'm going to, and there's this other easier way than this. I could specifically just duplicate this specific track. I can duplicate it, and it makes the exact same copy of the instrument that we're using, and puts it on the other ones that I need, or just makes copies of them. But what I'm doing right now is I'm going to take these And I'm going to, whoops. Yeah, don't do that. I'll make a copy of it. That way, they all have the same instrument. They're all using the exact same template. But if I go and play this, it's going to be super, super, super loud. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be organizing these. Got my kick 1, kick 2, snare, my closed hi-hat, and then a ratcheting sound. Come in here, and that is my primary kick that I'm using. So what I did here was Command A, select all. I'm going to go with Shift and click on the kick that I don't want highlighted. The reason why is because when I hit delete, by the way, we're on Logic, so this is with the Mac. When I hit delete, it takes everything else that I don't need, and that is what I'm wanting, because I just want specifically kick 1. Go back to another track 2 of the drums. I open up this window by just doing the Command 4, and this is now on the numeric keypad. This is your numbers up top. Do the same thing. I'm gonna go with the second kick. Command A, select all. Shift, click on the note that we don't want to be affected. Hit delete. And the way I use delete, I'm not using the delete, which in typical, I'm using on an extra Bluetooth keyboard as a numeric keypad. And on this specific one, I have that second delete next to your, where you would have by your arrow keys. But that gives me that kick number 2. Go to the snare track. Same thing. Command 4, open up this piano roll window. Command A to select all. Now, this one. That's what I'm using as my snare. Delete. Got that in place. Now that snare may and probably most definitely get changed, only for the fact that I want it to have, instead of more of a stick hitting sound, have a little bit of a resonance or a little bit of a crunch. And I want that, that snare, a little bit of a hit to come with it as well too. Command 4, Command A, select all, Shift, click for my closed hi-hat, delete. Last one, click on the region, Command 4, Command A, find my ratchet, Shift, click, delete, and there we have it. We have the entire drum kits right there that I needed. Now I'm going to move these down here below. That way I have all my tracks that I need up close together. I can actually hide that, hide those. That way they're not in my way. I want to try to stay as organized as I can. I don't want these to interfere with what I'm doing. So now, play it back, and it's still the same sounds. Now, the reason that I was wanting to do that and separate my drum kits into something different, like each having their own specific track, is because when it comes into mixing, I don't want to be having every single, kick, second kick, snare, close hi-hat, ratchet sound. I don't want all those being into one thing together with only one fader. Because if I adjust the volume on one, it's adjusting the volume on all of them. That means that I have to go to this specific instrument program, and I'm gonna have to go into there and then adjust every single one individually, or having to go to the velocities on my MIDI regions and change them that way. It's just a lot more work. This also allows me to be able to add my own inserts into each track. It allows me to just do more creative things in this way and not having to do too much of a hassle of having to copy and paste every single thing all at once with very little adjustments that I could do in a quick pace. The whole goal to me is to be able to run through this as quick as possible. Alright. I know you guys probably see me looking away a couple times, so I'm using a Launch Key 49, and this is the MK3. Man, I love this thing. This thing, seriously, it takes me to a different level with it because I have more control over my program, and that's what I love. And it's just a lot quicker. So I was actually trying to adjust my master fader with the faders on the keyboard. It adjusted actually. If you look on my master fader all the way down there, I can control it through my launch MIDI keyboard. So I was looking because it has a little digital screen and it's telling me what my digital meter was actually saying. So the numeric numbers, I was able to see them. That way I could have them right on right at 0. Okay. This does have, the horns have a slight tail. Let's see. Okay. So there is a tail on these. And I am going to try to cut it and to minimize my tails. Try to loop them or crossfade them together. So what I'm going to do here, yeah, we can just do them all together. But the other thing is, I have 2 different sections. Yeah. I figured one of these was not that one. That one. It's probably this one. Oh. Okay. My close hi-hat. A couple different ways you can let us shorten it up. As long as you're not too far off. Readjust it, quantize it. That way you just get a simple cut. couple different ways you can do it there. I sometimes just quantize it, other times I just let it shorten it. The reason I'm doing this is because I have two sections here. We got this. So you guys remember from last video I was talking about that we're in double time. 145 BPM, and that's beats per minute. But in double time, this isn't running the same way. Excuse me. So 1 bar in double time is really only half. It takes 2 bars, 2 measures to make your normal time or standard time beat. So if you want to go back to the last video and check it out, more than welcome to, because I'll give a little bit more of a description on there. Here I'm just going to see. Scoot this more. And actually just one more as well. Why? Because in my eyes, visually seeing where the verses, choruses, and everything's going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counts 8 bars, but really these are only 4 that's going in double time. I'm doing a 16 bar loop here. Chorus. Eight bar hook. What I'm doing to make this quickly replicate what I just have, it's like kind of like a copy and paste. It's Command R, and that just copies it. So I'm only going up to here. Reason being is because that first initial ones, I don't want all that. Ah, forgot about that. Let's see. Ah, it's not those horns. It's these the ones that are okay. Let's go back. Okay. So instead of doing Command R, I'm going to hit Option, click, and I'm going to see. So bar 49. What we're going to do is add this crossfade. That way. Just blends in real smoothly. but we'll have to do it again. This first one that we add on. Okay. So this obviously isn't the only instrumentation. That one. This. Some of these may not need really crossfade. The only reason that I'm going to still throw it onto, like, for instance, this one, it's more the fact that just in case there's a weird pop, I don't want it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's just eliminate that pop. Just like that. These crossfades help in those aspects. Make sure that you don't to remove some ways those annoying pops that might be created when you put audio tracks together. So if you're making music and you're noticing that some of them are making this weird popping sound and there's some overlap, don't be afraid to add that in there, because that may be what's giving you the issue. And you're going to be gentle with some of these. Like, for instance, for that, I'm not going too harsh. Why? Because they don't need to make a huge, I don't want it to just slowly creep in. I want it just to blend together. About 10 milliseconds should be fine. Some of them I do add more. That just depends how I'm listening to it. But this particular one here, I don't want to add too much into that. I just want to just to give that smooth transition without that pop. That should be it, really. Well, for that part, let's say, because my ending here. And we see to bring everything, almost everything. Just gotta add some of those little tiny fades here. That's fine. At least I don't gotta redo them to every single region. Is there a shorter way? There probably definitely is. See, I don't normally mix in Logic. I normally mix in Pro Tools. So in there's just a quick shortcut for it. Okay. Gives us that. Probably gonna have to redo it again one more time, because at my end I'm gonna have like this outro. Yep. Same thing again. Let's see if we can get these all together. That way, I don't gotta worry about doing this to every single one. Oh. Let's see. No. It won't let me do it the way that I was planning on doing it. So I'll just go in here and just slightly add. Just make sure they're even. Not that one of them is pulling more, closing up, fading out more than the other one. That can make it sound a little funny. See, like you can see, I can see that it's slightly pulled to one side. Just come back in there, readjust it. That one's very noticeable. This one here. Where did it? There we go. Excuse me. Alright. That should be it. This is why. It's these. Okay. Should be able to come from here. instantly. I'll take these two out. I'm gonna start arranging this in the way that's gonna be. I'll actually just go start an intro. I'm gonna split this in half. I'm now wanting to have a super long intro. So, with that being said, we're gonna make this cut real short in half. From here, but we're gonna still listen to see what we got. So it's not bad with the way it sounds, but give this a little bit more spaced out. I want it to build up into it. Okay, so we got from there. See what this sounds like. There's different ways of getting this sound right here at the end. See, that doesn't sound the way I want it to. So the other way is open this all the way up to where I want it. Change this to my scissors via command. That allows you to use the second tool. Command option gives you a little plus, so it's going to cut it in the same sections, but throughout each beat or division that you have it in. So if I do it here, that's what we're going to get. Try just to get what I have in my head. Okay. So, somewhat what I have in my head. I'll delete some of these. Just split. Take these away. And if I right click on this part here that it's actually looped and go down to where it says cut section between locators, it will remove that and bring it all together. There we go. Now I'm gonna just keep this. Not that intro. This is what I'm going to do. So sometimes just playing around, getting to where you like it. In your own head, you may already have a particular sound that you hear. You just got to bring whatever you have in your mind onto the playing field. That essentially is sometimes the hardest thing if you can't translate what you have in your mind into your notes here. But over time, though, you'll get to it. And there's gonna be sometimes it just doesn't come out the way you want it to, but don't get yourself too overwhelmed. Let's see, we'll do these two. Bring them here. That. There. Do something like kind of preps it up into it. No. Oh, we're just gonna keep it that way, but add some extra tones in here. Going to, oops, forgot about that. Audio Suite. I have that in Pro Tools. It's a little program that I like it and I like the way it sounds when it's this part where I basically make it, it's called bare speed, and just kind of brings it down, slows it down, so it's like the track down as if it's on a record. So we'll send it through there. So yeah, so actually all of this is once it's complete from here, I'm sending it over into Pro Tools. So now let's see where we're at. Okay. So what I have out of here is hitting everything all at once, and I do not want that. Ratchet sounds, I don't want them coming into play right away. Second kick, I don't want that coming into play right away. cent. That can hold up slightly. Split it. Cut that off. Now let's see. It's coming into play. Second part of that. So let's see actually about adding. Bass sound. Nothing too crazy, just something simple. Okay. You know, I'm gonna try to modify this slightly. Slight pop. Release. As a slight. trying to figure out this space sound that I want. So I figured out where I want it. Turn that up. We'll run with that. Could try to extend it. Let's see what that sounds like. Keep it how it was there. This doesn't have to come into play. So here. And take a listen and see what it sounds like the track is doing so. Alright, so if this ever happens to you, obviously there's a track that's soloed. I should try to figure out which one it is. Let's see. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's because we were still in MIDI. It was locked to that loop. Alright, we're gonna come over here and listen to this chorus part. These kicks, this first kick, it has this little pop in the beginning. I'm gonna come into here and battery 4. What's this? Haha. It just has a slight. That right there should remove what I need. Play these two. Now we are change that slightly. Set to 0. go. You know, so I could compress it all right now in that. And obviously, I know what sound I want. Right now, I just. Okay. Just too much of it's being removed. Alright, we're just gonna find a different kick for this one. And that in some cases happens. Same thing, just trying to modify it, see what it sounds like. Here are my keys. So then we can come in here, take all of these, adjust them. Sounds a little low, but it's hitting up there. Sounds a little better with that bass in it. Alright, guys. We're actually coming close to an end here for today. Let's add this in there. I still have to do some more arranging with it. Obviously I still gotta work on that, still gotta get this completed. Might be able to have this back on Thursday, back at the same time at 9:30 Central Time. We'll do, if this is still, if I haven't finished it all the way, or see where we're at in the progress. Now we'll work on something else. A couple different projects we got going on, so we'll do that. But for tonight, I do want to say thank you guys for watching, and if you rewatch this, I thank you as well for rewatching it and just taking a listen to what's going on here. If you have any questions, anything, feel free to, ask away. You can hit me up on social media like Facebook or Instagram, and just hit up on those pages. users is going to be Manifesting Royalty Studios. So check us out on there and follow us, message us, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. As well, if you need help with projects, need something done, we're here as your team to help you out and get that completed. Tonight, thank you so much. This is Victor from Manifesting Royalty Studios, and we're out.